So you made a comment on the panel about the necessity of 5G internet for self-driving vehicles in cities, and you said this is 10 years out or so. 2025, I guess it's not 10 years anymore.
For passenger vehicles.
For passenger vehicles.
The average consumer, we think that's at least the timelines that most OEMs have said.
And you seem to be saying, like, whether it's Uber, Tesla, Waymo, or whatever, you're saying this is what's needed for
the sort of like anywhere to use, that's likely needed. But for the approaches such as what Navia does, you don't really necessarily need it.
Right.
So that can be done a lot earlier.
Right, but you're saying for like a Waymo style.
But
I mean, they're mapping.
If you look at it, they're doing geofencing right now.
Yeah, right.
So if you take that approach of geofencing, where they essentially mapped it out first,
yeah.
They still have connectivity, but that connectivity is more to keep updating. It doesn't require the same level of bandwidth that you would need for real-time control.
Yeah.
Then you're fine.
And then one debate in the industry is the Tesla approach is to have deep learning, neural networks.
Right.
And to train the cars to act like humans, to drive like humans, versus the Waymo very closed, fenced approach. So, I mean, are you saying that this Tesla more like approach is going to be?
I think you need both. The tricky thing is, I think the big difference is, by the way, I think all of them are doing bits and pieces of that.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're 100% going one way or another.
Right.
The big difference that you see with Tesla's approach and others is that Tesla chose to make semi-autonomous technology available to consumers.
Right.
The argument there being that by making it available to consumers, you'll be able to collect data a lot faster than doing all these test fleets.
Exactly.
The risk there is that the average consumer, including myself, we're really bad at using technology properly.
Yeah.
So that Tesla Model S crash in May 2016, that was a preventable crash if the driver had really followed the instructions.
And obviously some of the technologies, some of the software and systems in the car changed
glitches
after that.
After that, yeah. So they did update it, they tried to make it, but the tricky thing with level 3, and that's why if you look at when Daimler or when Toyota, when they're releasing their level 3, they're being a lot more restrictive when you can enable it.
And there's much more of a discussion of you have to just jump to level 4 or 5.
If you listen to
level
Volvo and Ford on record, they basically said they're not going to say sell level 3 to the average consumer because they're worried that the average consumer is going to not use it properly. And
there's been research by NASA and now Google that no matter what you do, no matter who you have in the seat, once you don't have to pay attention. And I have a Tesla with autopilot, so I know the story. Your mind sort of turns you into a passenger pretty quickly when you realize you're not actually.
This is a basic element of structural engineering in long bridges. Yeah. Whenever you have long bridges, they usually don't design them very straight because they're worried that you will become a little bit inattentive and then you can maybe go off. So they usually have curves in them. Right?
I didn't know that. But yeah, it's the same concept. We check out very easily if we're allowed to. And so we should get over there, but. Why is the 5G so important? Why is it critical to have 5G?
The idea is that they're basically, particularly if the car is going to go somewhere that has never been. Right. If you look at all the tests today, like what Navia is doing here or what Waymo does, they have mapped it out, they've collected all the data, so the car essentially has a history to reference, right? But what if, let's say, you want to all of a sudden go on a road trip that your car has never gone, right? And that the road environment, of course, the auto manufacturer may have bought some data about that road, but maybe the conditions have changed. So what you would need is the car to be able to get all that new information as it's driving. So
you need great internet connection for collecting the information, processing it, and then sending it back to the car. Yeah, and I mean, we'll come back to that topic in a minute, but we'll go for the launch now. So there's a bit of discussion, how much there should be this closed approach versus this neural network, deep learning approach, and obviously a mix of some sort is what we end up with. But where do you what's the timeline you see for the different approaches for maybe Waymo getting a fleet going in Phoenix, Uber getting one going in who knows where, and Tesla getting some self-driving cars going in some area.
The challenge is right now the amount of data that's disclosed is quite limited, so it would be very tricky for me to judge, at least based on only the California data, which by the way they haven't released the 2017 data yet. Waymo is way ahead in terms of actual autonomous miles driven among California roads. Our estimation was, looking at everything that everybody announced, which they have very limited announcements, that by the end of 2017, globally you had about 5.3 million miles of fully autonomous mode driven, and of that, over 90% was automated. Now this year we think you get another at least 3 million miles, and you see more and more other players coming in. On the Tesla one, it really depends on...
I mean, that's not counting Tesla's sort of hidden ghost miles, right? That
are not the simulation miles. So this is the actual miles, and the Teslas. You're right that like
they have the hardware and software. They're not.
You can have the autopilot engaged and get some data from that, and that's valuable. I'm not on the vehicles that they've sold. Anytime that the owners engage the autopilot and that data is fed back is actually really valuable. And their approach is very interesting. The question is, as you know, since the breakup with Mobile App, of course, the technology decline, there's been a lot of complaints, and they've delayed the full autonomous.
Yeah, they were going to do LA to New York last year.
They haven't done it. So are they going to catch up? Are they going to do those autonomous? I don't know. I'll be very honest with you on that. That's something that we can't comment on.